Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC 121 with UFC President Dana White. And Dana, you have a new heavyweight champion. Brock Lesnar just lost to Cain Velasquez. Did you ever expect that the fight would go down like that?
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought the fight would go down. I didn't know who was going to win, but there's no way I thought that fight was going the distance. Both guys hit hard. Both guys can do damage from that top position, and both guys, have the cardio to keep swinging. I didn't think anybody was going to tire out or whatever. I thought those guys were going to go at it until somebody was finished.
When Cain Velasquez debuted in the UFC, he was relatively green. Did you see something in him, though? Did you think that he had what it takes to become a champion?
Well, Crazy Bob Cook came to me and said, you got to see this guy, you got to see this guy. And, you hear that from every camp. They've got the guy who's going to be the next champ. I saw Cain and I thought he was talented and good, but you don't really see it until you get him in there and he starts fighting some of the best in the world. You don't just pick a guy and go, oh, this guy's going to be the heavyweight champion, because everybody says that.
What do you think we learned about Brock tonight? Because a lot of people are comparing this fight to the Shane Carwin fight. Got rocked early. Unfortunately, this time for him, he wasn't able to rebound. What do you make of this?
Yeah, listen, the thing you got to understand is, and what's been so amazing about Brock Lesnar is the guy had such little experience, but every time he got in there and fought, he looked better and better. And the question tonight was, would his size and strength and athleticism be able to beat this well-rounded, gifted fighter?
So, do you think he needs to evolve a little? Do you think because he comes in like this bull, bum-rushing guys, and it doesn't seem to work all that well lately?
Yeah, it does work. I think to say it doesn't work lately, let me tell you what, he put it to Cain when this fight started. He went after him, man. And Cain's one of these guys. He even said it here at the press conference tonight. I got into brawl mode and we started brawling a little bit, and I had to get into my zone where I had to relax and start picking my shots and not getting crazy and getting into a crazy street fight with him.
I know it's very early, but he has said that he wanted to take some extended time off. What do you think now, given the competitor that he is? You think he'll come back a little earlier?
Brock?
Yeah.
Interesting to see, we'll see what Brock Lesnar does here. I think he's still going to go hunting, and he's going to take a little time. He's got that scar on his face that's going to heal, but I think the competitive side of him will bring him back sooner.
I just want to ask you an interesting question. There was a pro wrestler by the name of The Undertaker in attendance. I don't know if you know, he is a very tall fellow. They had a little bit of an exchange after the fight, and then some people were alluding to the fact that WWE is trying to make a match between them at WrestleMania. Have you heard anything of this? He wants to go back to wrestling?
No, first of all, I don't know if he is or isn't. I would find that hard to believe. But, The Undertaker has been coming for a long time. He's a fan of mixed martial arts. And, Brock is one of his guys. Those guys wrestled together. I don't think there was... I went up and put the belt on Cain, talked to Brock, then went right out, so I didn't hear any exchange. But if those guys were going back and forth, it's because they're friends.
You alluded to something at the press conference that you guys have been fighting lately. Anything you can share?
Brock and I butt heads on things. We just do. It is what it is, And I don't think it's something where it's like, oh, we're fighting and this thing's never going to work. It's just, we tend to battle a little bit on things.
What does this mean for business to have now this Mexican-American heavyweight champion, the first ever in boxing or MMA? Does this open a lot of new doors for you?
It'll be interesting to see. I can't say, oh, this has been a perfect game plan, and now this. Listen, it is what it is. We put the best guys in the world in there, and whoever wins, wins. And yes, I think because Cain, is a real Mexican heavyweight champion, I think that, I think people care. I think we saw that at the press conference, and we definitely saw it in the arena tonight.
Everyone's been waiting for you guys to debut in Mexico. Is the time right now?
Well, it's funny because, I go down to Cabo a lot, and I love it down there. And all the guys from Cabo, the people that live down there that I know, were all texting me tonight. It's, Viva Mexico, and yeah, who's going to drink a Corona now and eat a burrito and all this stuff. So I'm sure that there's a lot of Mexican fans that are fired up tonight.
Okay, just want to ask you about a couple of the other fights. Jake Shields, a lot of people not all that impressed with his performance. Were you?
Yeah, listen, how could you not be impressed with his performance? He had a tough guy in Martin Kampmann. Martin Kampmann's no joke. When you come in here, and I don't care where you've been or who you fought or what you've done, the guys that you fight in the UFC fight the very best in the world 3 times a year. These guys are no joke, and he kept his composure. I think tonight's a fight that Martin Kampmann's going to regret for a long time. I don't think he let his hands go like he should have when he had the opportunities when he was on his feet. And it's not like Jake Shields completely out-wrestled him and dominated him on the ground. I don't think that Martin Kampmann was ever in positions where, he should have been terrified to get back into that position again. He should have let his hands go, and I think he's gonna realize that himself when he watches the fight.
Is Jake still getting the next shot at the title?
Yeah, Jake's in the mix. Yeah, I don't think any less of Jake Shields today than I did yesterday.
And not to put you on the spot, but your gut feeling right now, are Tito Ortiz's days done inside the octagon?
Well, I think going into this fight, what everybody heard me talk about is we're going to find out. This fight's going to see whether or not Tito's still relevant in the 205-pound division.
And what do you think? Is he?
Did he win tonight?
No, but maybe you like something about him. Do you like anything?
He didn't win tonight, but, did Tito look horrible? Did Tito look like, Tito didn't look horrible either. Tito went in there and he fought and he lost. He's lost either 4 of his last 5 or 5 of his last 6, and
I guess the question is, do you still want to be in the Tito Ortiz business?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way. I mean, back in the days when I was saying I don't want to be in the Tito Ortiz business was when I absolutely, positively despised Tito. Do I absolutely, positively despise him? No, I don't. I don't hate Tito anymore. It just is what it is.
Okay, last question on this card. Diego Sanchez looked very good. Seems to have sort of regained some confidence. Do you think his days of fighting at 170, still going to continue or go down to 155?
I love Diego Sanchez at 170 pounds. I think he's strong there. He said it tonight. An in-shape Diego Sanchez is a tough, durable guy that will outwork you, out-tough you, and outlast you.
Okay, here's the most important question. Celtics or Heat? Who's going to win?
Are you kidding me, man? The Celtics are going to win this.
All of a sudden, you're a huge Celtics fan. Are you some kind of bandwagon jumper?
I've always been. Listen, did the Celtics win the championship last year or something? No, listen, I would call myself a fair weather sports fan. So when I do, follow a sport, I follow the Boston teams.
So you will be there, right?
I will be there.
All right. Thank you so much for the time, sir. Congratulations on a great event.
Thank you, brother.